It's Wednesday, the 26th of November, 2025. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 massive stories to race through, just 5 minutes to do it. Let's go with story number 1. Bendigo and Adelaide Bank has found broad deficiencies, including customer due diligence in its management of anti-money laundering and terrorism financing, once again putting the spotlight on illegal activity in the banking sector.
Bendigo and Adelaide had asked Deloitte to conduct an investigation of suspicious activity in one of its branches. The review ultimately identified weaknesses and deficiencies across many key aspects of the bank's anti-money laundering and terrorist financing risk management program, found all sorts of problems across the whole bank, not the branch in question. Fixing the problems will cost money. Now, the Bendigo and Adelaide's board said it was very disappointed by the findings, obviously, but its share price fell 7%. It just adds to the bank's kind of collective track record of breaking anti-money laundering and terrorism rules. Bank of Queensland a couple of years ago reached an agreement with Austrac after the agency found it had inadequate anti-money laundering controls. A year earlier, National Australia Bank accepted a similar undertaking. The big one was Westpac 2020, agreed to pay a $1.3 billion fine after the discovery of serious and systemic failings, ultimately led to the replacement of the bank CEO. CommBank also got caught up in about 2017.
What's this mean for investors? How much does it unsettle them? And not just in Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, but the whole sector, I suppose.
Well, plenty. This issue seems specific to the regional bank, but the news gives investors another reason to sell off the banks. Yesterday, for example, the banks were sold off, whereas the rest of the market was higher. For months, analysts have argued the banks are overvalued, particularly Commonwealth Bank. The Bendigo and Adelaide news raises questions about anti-money laundering, terror financing controls, even if there aren't any new issues for those banks. What we've seen, any little reason like this, people are selling. CommBank down 20% since its peak, ANZ 11%, NAB's off at 10%, Westpac's off 7% since its peak.
All right, moving on to story number 2 now. And Domino's franchisees, Sean, are not happy with head office. The franchisees, which own more than 40% of all Domino's pizza stores across Australia, they are demanding an immediate reduction in fees. Meanwhile, the Consumer and Competition Watchdog is in the early stages of an investigation into Domino's.
That's over claims by local franchisees who say they are subsidising the company's failing overseas expansion. The Fin Review is reporting that Domino's had to hand over to the ACCC a list of current and former franchisees. In terms of the fee fight, 128 franchisees representing 350 out of 829 local stores have been negotiating with Executive Chair Jack Cowan for months over fees. They accuse the company of making it impossible for them to earn good money, particularly aggrieved by what they say are dismissive attitude from Cowan. They're particularly upset about reported comments of Cowan when he described the franchisees as squeaky wheels and poor performers. For his part, Cowan, who's made a fortune at Hungry Jack's, biggest shareholder in Domino's, said he'd held positive discussions with an internal franchise group.
Story number 3. Macquarie Group's Shamara Wickramaniyaka has again topped the list of CEOs with the highest take-home pay, but she was only number 5, Sean, when it came to realised pay with bonuses and vesting options boosting the remuneration of some now quite rich bosses.
Bill Beaumont, not a household name, but he is chief executive of mining exploration company Develop Global. $58 million his wealth jumped after 14 million options in the company he leads were converted into shares. This is all according to the AFR. Next on the list of realised pay was ResMed's Mick Farrell, $45.6 million. Sigma Healthcare's Vikesh Ramsunder at $26.8 million. 5 of the top 10 companies with the highest paid chief executives this year came from the materials sector. Think miners, 2 from healthcare, only 1 from property and financial services. Top 300 chief executives reported pay rose 10% to an average of $3.86 million.
Story number 4. I love this story.
One for you.
Oh, it's a ripper. The first treasures have been recovered from what is believed to be the most valuable shipwreck in history. It is a Spanish galleon that sank in 1708 in the Caribbean Sea with a haul worth as much as 15 billion pounds.
A cannon, 3 gold coins and a porcelain cup were among the items brought to the surface by Colombian researchers. The San Jose sank after a brutal clash with a British squadron. It's often described as the holy grail of shipwrecks. According to the Australian, it had sailed from Portobello, Panama, as the flagship of the Tierra Firma fleet, which was charged with transporting Spain's colonial riches to Europe. Didn't stand a chance when it came up against Admiral Charles Wage's British ships, apparently. Looks like a broadside ruptured the hull, igniting the power magazine, sending the 62-gun, 3-masted vessel 600 metres to the seafloor. Now we're finding out what was in it.
It's pretty incredible. Last one, story number 5. Jakarta has become the world's largest urban centre with a population of 42 million people, ahead of Dhaka in Bangladesh, 37 million, Tokyo, 33 million.
According to the UN, the Indonesian capital is number 1 thanks to a fast-growing population. Same with Dhaka coming in at number 2. The previous number 1, Tokyo, slipped to number 3 because their population growth is slower than New Delhi in India, Shanghai, Guangzhou, both in China, Cairo, the only non-Asian city in the top 10, and then Manila. Interestingly, cities were home to 45% of the world's 8.2 billion people in 2021, up from 20% in 1950. The number of megacities, more than 10 million people, quadrupled since 1975, from 8 to 33, of which 19 of those 33 are in Asia.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 26th of November, 2025. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes just isn't enough for you, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. And head along to fearandgreed.com.au to sign up for our free daily newsletter. I'll put a link in today's show notes as well. It is in your inbox by 6 a.m. every morning. It takes about 3 minutes to read, and I guarantee you it will set you up better for the day, and it's entirely free. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 business news by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.